Well, we get underway. Bristol City are the ones that will start with possession in this first half. A formidable side this season, of course, coming off the back of their win against Southampton in the FA Cup. As we often see, some looping balls at the start of this match as both teams just try and settle in. As Katie Robinson looking very sharp in the early stages for Bristol City. Well, the referee will award a free kick in favour of Lucy O'Brien. It'll be Rowe that takes it. And as I say that, the Ipswich players change their mind, and looks like Megan Waring pulls forward and sends the ball as far up the pitch as she can. Sophie Ingles able to retrieve for Bristol City, who now look to counter, and they'll want to get off the mark very quickly here, Bristol. Lloyd Smith cuts inside, and a bit of footwork, slightly too fanciful, and Ipswich are able to regain possession and charge over on that right wing now. And this is a very early break and an early bit of confidence now as Natasha Thomas crosses it in. And it's a great attempt from Sophie Peskett, one of the more lively playmakers in this Ipswich Town side, and Bristol City won't have been expecting that. That's caught them slightly on the back foot there. Struck really unable to do anything. Well, the goal kick doesn't go too far. Bristol definitely not able to relax and clear their lines just yet. Well, Struck sends it over more centrally. The drummer in the stands, bringing some good atmosphere to the JobServe Community Stadium this afternoon, and now Bristol City look to try and make some strides in an attack. Lovely bit of footwork there, and a long ball into the box. Unable to quite find anybody to keep it dangerous. Katie Robinson dispossessed by Bethan Rowe. Collision there between the two. Results in play being paused once again. It was just that push, wasn't it, from Katie Robinson as she conceded the free kick. Tipped on over to Lloyd Smith, who sends it backwards. And Ipswich have definitely started out very brightly here. Morgan over to Saz, looks for the forward pass. Good interception from Ipswich now. And once again, it's Sophie Peskett. She's such a bright, creative player, charging down that right wing, unable quite to keep it in. Only one win for Ipswich Town so far this season. 2 draws, 8 losses. They are sat at the bottom of the table at the moment. Freshly promoted from the National League South Premier Division, of course. They were 6 points clear when they won that title. A win today will bring them to a total of 8 points. They'll still be sat bottom of the table, but Portsmouth, of course, just above them with a game in hand after today's fixtures. There'll be 3 very important points should the Blues be able to pull that off this afternoon. But now Hardy tries to find a way through. It's blocked and defended well by Ipswich. Shove to the back of Esther Morgan, disrupts the flow once more. Struck. Morgan. Over to Robinson. There's been a few loose passes from Bristol City so far. The pass accuracy perhaps needs to just be honed in on ever so slightly for the Robins. They've lost possession a few times that way already in the opening 7 minutes. Waring finds O'Brien. O'Brien goes wide to Peskett. Now she cuts in. This is a fantastic run from Sophie Peskett, dispossessed on the edge of the box. But Ipswich really on it in reclaiming that ball, and Bristol forced to defend once more. O'Brien cuts in, tries to find the ball in, and it's rolled away by Struck. Morgan finds Robinson. Competently rounds O'Brien, but loses possession. Now Ingles tries to find that pathway, but the run was in vain. Lasada through to Hardy. Well defended by Megan Waring. The under-23 called up for Scotland, of course, back in November. Esther Morgan just taking her time on this one. Tries to go for Hardy. Well, 2 Ipswich players down here. And there goes the referee's whistle. Just to pause play, make sure they're okay. Natalia Negri safely keeping the ball. Rihanna Dean looking in a bit of pain at the moment. Just an arm to the face in a tussle with Esther Morgan. Just a bit of a whack. She'll be okay when she's been assessed by the medics. That was Charlotte Healy, on the screen a moment ago, manager for Bristol. She's very happy with her starting 11, she was saying in a pre-match interview, though it has given her some headaches to select this week, given the good performances that Bristol have strung together recently. Saying that whilst that can provide its challenges, it does mean that she's very confident in her bench, and that any substitutions that may be required, she's happy that they can impact the game however it is that she needs. Maldine just waiting to be waved back on. Well, she bounds back onto the pitch. Bethan Road gets us back underway. And Ipswich looking very sharp. And yet another free kick conceded. This time it's Paige Peake stood over it. As Bristol brace themselves for what could be a bit of an onslaught here. As Ipswich will be determined to try and make something of this, but it does bounce away from the wall. And Bristol will be able to calmly collect themselves and dispose of that nice and easily. Well, it's been a bit stop-start in the opening 13 minutes or so. No goals yet, though. Ipswich Town 0, Bristol City 0. Ipswich starting this fixture much brighter than we've seen them previously. A good attempt at a run there from Sophie Peskett, who does go down, concedes yet another free kick for the Blues. They're inching closer to that box, aren't they? These free kicks are going to get gradually more and more dangerous. Well, Fran Bentley poised at the front post at the moment. She directs her wall as Jenna Deere communicates with her players, her colleagues. Jenna Deere sends in, it's a fantastic ball in, and Ipswich Town have gone ahead here. Who saw that coming? Absolutely fantastic from Natasha Thomas. Now the Blues will be absolutely thrilled with that. Natasha Thomas became Ipswich Town's first ever senior goal scorer in October. She played for Jamaica, and she's put them ahead here today. It's a brilliant goal, just getting herself in front there of Emily Syme. And I told you these free kicks are getting more and more dangerous, and Bristol City unable to cope with that one. Ipswich Town 1, Bristol City 0. Now the Robins need to respond here, because Ipswich Town will be flying high after going ahead against the current third place team in the Women's Super League 2. That is a very, very valuable goal. And there's your goal scorer, Natasha Thomas. And Natalia Negri just setting herself up for a goal kick. She had a quieter start to this match than she did the reverse fixture. Maria Boswell made her senior debut for the team in 2020. She's captaining the side today. She's been a mainstay in this team for some time now. I've seen Ipswich develop through the ranks and obviously saw their promotion last season. And Ipswich able to safely collect that ball. There was no real threat for Natalia Negri. Well, Ipswich need to use that momentum and build on it now, not let themselves choke under the pressure of going 1-0 up. In the opening third of this half. Well, David Wright did say pre-match that they had a very good training week. He was excited for this fixture. He was looking forward to it. The girls had shown some real promise earlier in the week, and it seems to be translating brilliantly onto the pitch this afternoon. And Saz sends it over the top. Tries to find Lasada. The ball has to be sent back out. Morgan. Over to Robinson, back to Morgan. Trying to open up some space here. Ipswich have done a fantastic job so far of creating a bit too much chaos on that final third, and Bristol just haven't been able to find their way through. But Jenna Deere starting yet another attack for Bristol City. Lucy O'Brien now cuts inside. She has to turn back though. She's thwarted by red shirts. Now Rio Hardy over to Lloyd Smith. Still Lloyd Smith, gets it away. Hardy unable to do anything with it though. And it heads back towards that Bristol City back line. Well, Hardy on the ball again, of course, the highest goal scorer in the league so far this season. 7 goals on her tally. Well, Bristol seemingly favouring that left wing at the moment as Ward sends it back. And now Bristol trying to find some space. Unable to so far. Now Ingalls sends it in with her left foot. Well, here's that goal again, sent in by Jenna Deere. Struck home from close range by Natasha Thomas. We approach the 20-minute mark. Ipswich Town are ahead, and I don't think anyone really would have guessed that coming into this match, but they started so brightly. Lasada. Over to Struck. Struck tries to find some more space over on that left-hand side once again. Ingles brings it more centrally. Now Bristol City could be in here with Hardy. She crosses it round. Can't quite find Lloyd Smith. Bristol starting to amp up the pressure now. 21 minutes played. And Saz over around the edge of the box now. Mari Ward tries to get the shot away, can't quite manage it. Booted clear by Jenna Deer. And Bristol will have to rebuild once again. Morgan tries to send it into the box. Lloyd Smith's tracking it, but not quite able to get there. Red shirts are flooding that final third now, but nothing can come of it. Bit of frustration there from Sophie Ingles, I think, as she tried to run through and collect that ball and was just beaten to it. Robinson just about managing to keep that ball in. Morgan to Lasada. Lasada back to Struck. Forward to Ingles. Saz over to that left wing. Ipswich doing fantastically well to keep that in, and Pesquet has been released down that right wing now. She is taken down as Lasada wins the ball. No whistle. Lasada even looked a little bit surprised there. She looked a bit shocked. Ingles. Sophie Ingle, of course, getting the brace in the reverse fixture. Lexi Lloyd-Smith sends it wide. It's the first real shot that Lloyd-Smith really had on goal. It was laid off for her. It was just past that post, wasn't it? Oh, deep breaths from Negri as she sends it up the pitch. Dean finds Thomas. Thomas unable to keep the ball there. She was sandwiched by red shirts. Emily Syme trying to make some headway. She is fouled. The referee not happy to take it that quickly. The ball brought back. Bristol clearly keen to get on with this now and level up the score before half-time. 20 minutes left until then. Plenty of time for things to change around in this first half. And tempo has settled a little bit from Ipswich. It's not quite as fiery as it was in that opening 18 or 19 minutes. It's a long-range shot. Negri keeps it out. Asada, of course, not only captain of the side today, but former Champions League winner with Barcelona back in 2021. She has just won her side a free kick. We'll see why. It's a bit of a late challenge there, wasn't it? And Asada goes to ground, clutching the bottom of her shin, just above the ankle. She's fine, though. And Bristol have a set piece in a rather threatening space. Right, sent in low, blocked brilliantly by Bethan Rowe. Bristol hurry towards their corner. Well, Syme swings it in. It's headed away. Struck that gets there first. Nice bit of control there from Thomas. Gets her out of trouble. Bristol just beginning to sharpen up, perhaps. Sophie Ingle. Over on that far side. Ward almost dispossessed. It's a brilliant job of keeping it in there, but it will be a goal kick. Dean tries to find a way through, goes down, clutching her foot. Play continues with a very quick throw-in and some protests from the Ipswich side. Kept in by Robinson. Morgan looks for the cross. Well, protest there. The referee firm in their decision to just allow play to continue with a throw-in. Some handball protests. Morgan will take that second one quickly. Now O'Brien trying to find a way around. It's a great cross in, Peskett on the ball now. And a long range shot soars over the bar. But Ipswich Town will be delighted with that bit of play. Bristol City caught on the back foot once again. It was a fantastic effort, wasn't it? We'll pause in play now. As Fran Bentley will receive a bit of treatment. Bentley starting her career in the Manchester United youth ranks, of course. She did then switch over to Manchester City. It's not too often you see that switch going on, especially in the junior ranks. But a bit of time for Bristol City to regroup. Directions from Charlotte Healy. As David Wright, I'm sure, will be singing the praises of his side with further encouragement of how to keep this performance going. It's been a relatively quiet day so far for Natalia Negri between the sticks for Ipswich Town. And Wright will be keen to keep it that way. Bit of a loose ball there, kicked up on the heel of Lucy O'Brien. Has unleashed Bristol City now. But a foul on O'Brien. We'll see play paused again. It's been difficult for City to find any real rhythm in the match so far. There's been a few interruptions, plenty of set pieces. They've not quite been able to settle into it and find their goal-scoring boots like they had back in November. Ingle, Hardy, Lloyd-Smith, Ferrugia and Hubbard, the goal scorers from that match. It's been a good atmosphere, hasn't it, in the JobServe Community Stadium so far. And why wouldn't it be? Ipswich Town 1-0 up against Bristol City. 35 minutes played, almost 36 minutes gone in this match so far. And a bit of collision there, as Natalia Negri comes out to defend her goal. Caught on the back of her head and top of her shoulders by the looks of it, but I'm sure she'll get seen by the medic in a moment if needed. You see the replay of that just coming in and clattering from that kind of shoulder blade up into her neck. Well, important here that Bristol City don't get in their heads too much and don't let their heads go down. They wouldn't have been expecting to be behind at this point in the game. Well, they wouldn't have been expecting to be behind at all, really. It's at third in the league at the moment, and there you go, 73.4% possession so far for Bristol City. To the Ipswich Town's 26.6%. 5 shots, just the one on target. To Ipswich's 3. Also with one on target, but of course they made that one count. And Ipswich Town are ahead. Syme now coming round. She's got a relatively clear run here. Emily Syme lays it off for Lloyd Smith. And it's an excellent bit of defending, and now Ipswich Town have the opportunity to counter. And that counter is thwarted. Here we have that attack from Emily Syme. He comes round, crosses it brilliantly over to Lloyd Smith, who just can't quite get it away in time. Well, it looks like a booking for Vicky Lasada, the Bristol City captain. Shown the yellow card as she conceded that foul. Bristol City need to stay on top of their frustrations and any psychological doubts they might be having right now. It can be tricky when you're behind in a game that you don't necessarily expect to be. But Lloyd Smith fighting well over on that left wing. Lasada back to Lloyd Smith. City looking perhaps the most alive we've seen them so far. Syme lays it off, and it's a fantastic attempt from Robinson, the best we've seen from the Robins so far. Negri able to safely catch and collect the ball, but that was a lovely bit of play. Back heel over to Katie Robinson, who sent it goalward. Ingle, a bit slow off the mark there as she makes a small mistake into Ipswich Town, gaining possession. Waring sends it over the top into the path of Bethan Rowe. Rowe looking for some support here. Finds O'Brien. Just dinks through her legs and out of play for an Ipswich throw. Well, Esther Morgan, she's had a busy day so far. We've seen her feature quite heavily in this match. The Welsh international played all 3 matches in the group stages of Euro 2025 for Wales. What a momentous occasion that was for the Welsh side. But the ball was sent over, back in play. And sent away by Hardy. As Peskett launches it back into the box. And the referee stopping play as Lloyd Smith takes a heavy ball to the face. There's a bit of a scramble around her to try and keep play continuing, and she's dealt with that very well, actually. Well, Ipswich have defended brilliantly in this first half. 42 minutes played. Ipswich Town 1, Bristol City 0. Well, looks like Lasada has stayed down there. Play goes on. The referee seeing no reason for play to be paused just yet. We'll have to wait for the ball to go out of play, perhaps, as Lasada limps around, tries to stick a foot in there, but Ipswich now on the way through. And Lucy O'Brien's through on goal here. Lucy O'Brien. There are cheers, but the flag's gone up, I think. The referee's whistle had blown, it won't count. Yeah, we'll see that bit again. Yeah, just offside by the looks of things. It has been brought back, actually, though, to an Ipswich Town free kick. Deer sends it in. Peskett launches herself up, looking for the header. Natasha Thomas in there as well. She's been fantastic, hasn't she, today? The goal scorer, of course. Natasha Thomas almost gets herself to it, actually. There's 5 minutes minimum added before half-time. Bristol City will be determined to level the score before the break. Hasn't gone their way so far. The ball hasn't fallen for them. They've had much more possession than Ipswich. But Ipswich have defended very well and have been incredibly sharp in their attacks, even if they have been few and far between. Jenna Deer, once again, for this set piece. She sends it in wider this time. It's a good attempt over from that right-hand side, but nothing that challenges Fran Bentley too much. Lloyd Smith sends it up that left wing to Ward. Ward can't quite get there. It's knocked out by Boswell. Lloyd Smith to Ingle. Ingle sends it goalward, but with no real intent. And it's knocked back to the keeper. As Negri sends it upfield. Lloyd Smith sends another one in. And it challenges Negri a little bit more this time. Lloyd Smith just starting to ramp up the pressure slightly from Bristol City. It's almost an equaliser from that corner. Negri having a good game so far. Called up for the young Lionesses for the under-23 age group, actually, in recent time. And we can see why. Lasada passes back and finds safety in her back line. Says finds Ingle. Ingle back to Struck. Bristol City with a nice bit of build-up play here. That's Paige Peak that takes this one. But City easily managing it, easily disposing of it. A bit of a tussle there from Katie Robinson, wrapping her arm around the Ipswich Town shirt. Well, there is the whistle for half-time. Ipswich Town started brightly. And at the 14-minute mark, were able to put themselves ahead thanks to a set piece sent in by Jenna Deere. As Thomas struck home from close range. Bristol City unable to respond. The scoreline remains Ipswich Town 1, Bristol City 0. Ipswich Town 1, Bristol City 0, the score at half-time. Fran Bentley having a slightly busier first half than she'd have expected. A reminder that Bristol City currently sits third in WSL 2. They are vying for promotion. Those top two teams do go up to the first tier of women's football at the end of the season. A win today would bring them level on points with Birmingham, who are just 2 points behind league leaders Charlton Athletic. And now Bristol City seem to be starting brightly. Ingle looking for Lasada in the box, can't quite find her. The ball does run out of play. It will be a goal kick. Charlotte Healy will have had stern words with her Bristol City side at half-time, I'm sure. Some constructive instructions to help City pull this one back. They know that every game is competitive, especially at this point in the season. City won't want to let the gaps appear between themselves, Birmingham and Charlton. They are a very well-established club when it comes to the Women's Super League, Bristol City. They were runners-up back in 2013. Women's Super League 2 runners-up in 2016, where they were promoted back to the top tier. Runners-up in the FA Cup in 2011, 2013. And Championship winners in 2023. Of course, that was before the Championship was rebranded WSL 2. So we know that they are a force to be reckoned with, this side. And they will be disappointed with how today has played out so far. Fantastic to see that Charlotte Healy has taken over actually this summer, and that Bristol City are still having a strong season with the change of management. She has been focusing on developing young talent, and that seems to have been a good option for the majority of this season. But Ipswich Town have come out sharp once again and are refusing to let themselves be on the back foot. So Peskett trying to cause a bit of trouble. She certainly didn't make it too easy there for Mari Ward. Ingle. Sends it over to Morgan. Bristol just trying to make sure that they're organised before they launch an attack. Lasada. Some quick passing round the back for Bristol City. And that rhythm and tempo, hopefully one that will help them break through this Ipswich Town defence. But now Peskett manages to reclaim possession. It's a fantastic piece of play there as she makes her way down this right wing. She crosses it over. She looks for Natasha Thomas, can't quite find her. Bristol City able to aptly deal with that one. That's a good cross in from Sophie Peskett. Thomas just not quite in the position she perhaps thought she was. Now Lloyd Smith. Lexi Lloyd Smith laying it off for Mari Ward, who just wasn't there, didn't make the run. And a miscommunication between the City players results in an Ipswich Town throw-in. Lexi Lloyd Smith getting frustrated there. You can see the slight shake of her head. A goal would help settle those frustrations, I'm sure. That's the solution for Lloyd Smith. And a collision in the midfield there, but advantage played, and Ipswich Town are through here. Rowe. A fantastic solo run, finds the cross. Mialadine not quite able to direct that header toward goal. Peskett managing to keep it in. This ball is still alive. Sophie Peskett doing very, very well. Sent it over to Boswell, who finds the cross. And again, just no one quite in the right position to receive for Ipswich Town there. But another glimpse of that creative spark and those goal-scoring boots. Bristol City are going to be slightly worried now. Well, it will be a corner. There's a replay of that cross in from Boswell. There's just no one quite there to do anything with it. But the Ipswich Town corner. Jenna Deere will be the one to deliver. Of course, she assisted the goal earlier on with the set piece that Thomas hammered home from close range. And there was a yellow card in there as well, in the chaos for Esther Morgan. Lasada with a good turn. Lloyd Smith leaves it for Syme. It was a good decision. But Ipswich Town now trying to shift the direction of play unsuccessfully. Ingle lays off well to Syme. Ingle again with a good through ball. But there was no one there to collect aside from Natalia Negri. The confidence of the young goalkeeper will be growing as every minute passes. She's had a great game so far, some good saves. Nothing that would have challenged her too much. And she'll be feeling better and better as we progress through this 90. Lasada. Back to Says. Struck just holding onto the ball for a moment. The City back line trying to draw out a bit of space. Robinson sending back to her defence. And there is perhaps a slight bit of urgency just developing in this Bristol City side now. The time is gradually ticking away. We're into the 55th minute now, and it is still Ipswich Town 1, Bristol City 0. Well, Peskett doing an excellent job of trying to round Struck. Doesn't quite manage it on this occasion, but she's pulled it off successfully several times already today. It's been a real danger, has Sophie Peskett. Emily Syme. She's been a great creative player so far this season for Bristol City. Joint highest in the league, 4 assists. But hasn't had much chance today. And now Ipswich Town try and build yet another counter-attack. Well, Bristol City looking slightly dangerous there. The ball just nudged out of play. Well, it looks like Bristol City are getting themselves ready for some changes. Before we saw there, Gale and Bennett perhaps. Lloyd Smith then, the corner taken short. Syme! Emily Syme rattling that side netting. It was close, but not quite close enough. And Ipswich Town know they need to be on top of their game here.
Substitution for Bristol City. Leaving the field number 20, Esther Morgan. This replaced by number 41, Harley Bennett. Leaving the field number 8, Vicky Lasada. This replaced by number 21, Marie Defer. And also going off number 7, Katie Robinson. This replaced by number 33, Jessie Gale.
Well, there you have the substitutions for Bristol City. Charlotte Healy said in her pre-match interview that she's confident that her bench can respond and impact the game however needed. And they have got work to do. Robinson, Lasada and Morgan make way. Defer, Jones and Bennett take their place. Well, Ipswich Town have done a great job at keeping Bristol City at bay so far. Charlotte Healy's side need to find something a little bit extra here to break through that Town defence. Defer. Back to Struck. Now Bristol City with looking for goal. It's very, very close with Ward. Just rolls wide. I thought someone was going to slide through at that back post. Bristol City were almost on level terms there. But Jessie Gale not quite able to get on the end. We could see her just running out of the edge of picture there. She tried to make it to that back post and couldn't quite get there in time. We approach that 60-minute mark now. Half an hour still to play, of regular time, of course. Syme just setting that ball up a couple of times and inching closer and closer to the goal with each setup. She sends it in towards the wall and it bounces around a little bit. Ipswich Town able to get it away. Red shirts try and suffocate the blue ones there as they look to launch another attack. Ward now sending the ball back goalward. Lloyd Smith keeps it in, just manages to dink it past some of the Blues' defence, but it does roll out and it will be a goal kick. Negri sends it up pitch and it does just bounce out of play. Bristol City will retrieve with this throw-in. Bennett, the one that takes it, joined from Watford back in August 2024. And Thomas really giving chase there to try and pressure the Bristol City defence into an error. No such error came, and the scoreline remains 1-0. And the pressure is starting to build once again from Bristol City. Lloyd Smith passes forward to Ward. Ward crosses it over. Jessie Gale gets the shot away, but it does go way over the bar, and she looks like she's in a little bit of pain after that one. Yeah, she just collided with one of Ipswich's defenders there. And that'll be sore for a moment. She'll run it off though, I'm sure she'll be absolutely fine. There's a good bit of defending there from Bethan Rowe. As the ball safely passed back, and now that has facilitated O'Brien to make a great run. O'Brien through to Thomas. Thomas just running out of space. In Ipswich Town, they really are making the most of these opportunities when they land for the Blues. They're showing that they really can threaten this side. And Bristol City need to keep the pressure on here. Well, Peskett over on the right wing. Back to Thomas. Will be an Ipswich throw. Well, Ipswich Town fans will be wondering if they'll get to see their newest signings in today's match. Both of them are on the bench. Both Kavanagh and Ashford Clifford. Both formerly of Celtic, both with Champions League experience. So Blues fans will be very excited to see a little bit of acrobatics there. Well, the referee getting the yellow card out once again. That will be for Bethan Rowe, going to the book. This is a dangerous position. Bristol City setting the ball in, and Bristol City equalise. The Ipswich dream is being threatened now. It was cool, calm and collected. A substitution, Harley Bennett, on the receiving end of a brilliant free kick. Conceded by Bethan Rowe. Well, Syme sent it in with a fantastic long-range cross from that free kick. And headed into the back of the net by Harley Bennett. And Bristol City will breathe a sigh of relief that they are no longer behind to Ipswich Town. Well, just a bit of delay in the restart here. Negri just receiving some treatment. Looks in quite a bit of pain, and the attention on her knee by the looks of things. Charlotte Healy was correct in saying her bench can have the impact it needs. Harley Bennett, of course, coming on just a few moments ago. About 10 minutes or so she's been on the pitch. Bristol City won't be satisfied yet, though. They will want to take home all 3 points to remain in that third position in the league, to stay competitive with Birmingham, to keep within touching distance of Charlton Athletic. A draw, still a fantastic result for Ipswich Town, better than perhaps they'd have expected coming into this game, given the league standings. But they will be disappointed if they don't leave with all 3 points, given how long they have been ahead for in this match. Well, back underway. And it could be that that Bristol City goal reignites a fire in the bellies of Ipswich Town. Well, it looks like perhaps David Wright is instructing a future substitution for Ipswich Town in hope of reclaiming that goal cushion. But the pace has just slowed down since the goal. There's been a few interruptions, a few disruptions to momentum. Both teams will now want to make sure that they can get back into the flow of this game for the final 20 minutes or so. Ingle sends it upfield, looking for Gale. And Gale tries to keep it in, and it just roll out. Well, those changes I mentioned a moment ago for Ipswich Town. Guyat coming on, as is new signing Colette Kavanagh. Well, there you have those substitutions. Dean and O'Brien off for Guyat and Kavanagh. Guyat, of course, another player in this Ipswich Town side with young Lionesses experience from the under-16s all the way to under-19s. And Colette Kavanagh, the first signing of the January window for Ipswich Town, the 27-year-old His Champions League experience from 2019 with Celtic, where she scored an absolutely fantastic goal on her debut in that competition. Well, the referee getting a bit of stick there from some of the fans. Time to get her cards out. Although, the referee has booked several players already this match, so it's perhaps not the most apt instruction, but anyway. Some fresh legs in this Ipswich Town side, and Kavanagh not afraid to slide in there and really get her boots dirty early on. Kavanagh doing an excellent job of disrupting Bristol City. Well, a slightly delayed whistle there. But it will be an Ipswich Town free kick. Yeah, Shauna Guyatt just going down there. And that yellow card out once more. Well, Jenna Deere delivering another brilliant free kick. Just a little bit too much on this one. And their confirmation that Harley Bennett has gone into the book for that tackle on Shauna Guyatt. Guyatt looking sharp and explosive. Those fresh legs in the final 15 minutes could be invaluable. But Bristol City now launching yet another attack. Waring gets there first though, and Syme will have to settle for a throw-in. Well, this second half still looking to find a bit of rhythm. Been plenty of stops and starts so far, and it's been quite tricky for either team to really find that flow. Bristol City, of course, managing to get that equaliser. It shows you that flow isn't exactly everything, but it is important. Bentley sending it up pitch. Lloyd Smith. Hardy. Looks for Gale, can't get it to her. City are going to have to rebuild from the back again. Ipswich Town have defended so well today. And there's no real threat there for Fran Bentley. Comes way off her line to collect that ball and assist her teammates.
Substitution for Bristol City, leaving the field number 9, Rio Hardy, is replaced by number 23, Vera Jones.
Well, Vera Jones entering the field of play then as Rio Hardy makes way. The number 9. The highest goal scorer in the league, unable to add any more to that today. More and more play now is starting to take place in this final third for Bristol City. Ipswich are going to start to feel the pressure soon. The fatigue will start to seep into those legs. Jones. Back to Bennett. Thomas just tips it over and it will go out for a City throw-in. Lloyd Smith. A big shove there in the back of Bethan Rowe. Means that Bristol City will have to concede possession. Again, perhaps just a show of frustration there from Lexi Lloyd Smith. Should have wanted to get herself on the score sheet in this match. She'll have felt a bit kind of thwarted and suffocated perhaps by how well Ipswich have defended, and frustrated that she hasn't been able to display her creativity. And Negri looking in a bit of pain there. Limping around, be determined to see out the final 10 minutes plus added time, I'm sure. Every sports person being quite stubborn when it comes to injury and not finishing a game if they can possibly avoid it. Gale. The foot passes round, it finds Syme. Sophie Ingle now being forced backwards. Ipswich again doing well to push Bristol City away from that attacking third. But here comes Vera Jones. Tries to get the shot away. That's good defending from Paige Peake, who slides through and knocks it away. Bristol City aren't done though. And Peskett is required to put the ball out of play for a throw-in. Jones dispossessed. Gale sends it over the top, looks for Lloyd Smith, can't find it. And the ball out of play despite Mari Ward's best efforts. And it will be a goal kick. Ward unable to win the ball away from Ipswich Town here. And Peskett trying to make her way through. She almost managed it. Thomas is the one that gets the ball away. It just bounces wide. And Bentley retrieves it quickly as Bristol City look to really keep the pressure on to try and take home all 3 points. It was a good attempt from Natasha Thomas. Well, Lexi Lloyd-Smith collecting the rebound there. But Peskett on hand to dispose of the ball, and Ipswich Town determined not to just sit back and defend. They're still trying to cause problems of their own here, and they're doing a good job of it. Well, straight into a second corner. This one's much better, reaches towards that far post, but headed away to safety for the moment at least. And Sophie Peskett's really trying to put pressure on that back line. But now, Bristol City once again looking for Lloyd-Smith to try and unleash that danger in front of goal. And Vera Jones that posed the threat there. Defer. Sends the ball back. Deflected off of Natasha Thomas, preventing that from heading towards the goal from Sayers. That was definitely directed for that bottom corner, wasn't it? Negri doing a great job of picking that one out of the sky, and Ipswich Town can breathe for just a moment. Negri soars it upfield. We no one to retrieve it. Aside Bristol City though. And Ipswich Town must regroup here because the attacks will keep coming in the next 5 minutes. Kavanagh sliding through with a brilliant challenge there on Lloyd-Smith. Peskett on a great run. And the yellow card shown there for that tackle on Sophie Peskett. It was a bit late. And Peskett sent to ground. There's that brilliant challenge from Kavanagh before a superb solo run from Peskett, as her toe was just caught by Defer, who subsequently saw herself into the book. Well, the free kick didn't trouble the keeper as Bentley sends it flying straight back down to the midfield. Now Jones. And it's Peskett of Ipswich Town again. She's really applying pressure in these final few minutes. There's a great ball laid off to Natasha Thomas, who can't quite get there due to a shove from Harley Bennett. And that looks like it hurt a little bit in these closing stages. Muscles are tired, legs are fatigued, and any knocks are slightly more painful than they would have been 60 or 70 minutes ago. Another change though. Maria Ferrugia awaiting her instructions to come onto the pitch.
Substitution for Bristol City, replacing number 5, Sophie Eagle. There's number 19, Maria Ferrugia. Substitution for Ipswich Town, replacing number 29, Jenna Deer. Number 18, Ruby Doe. And replacing number 17, Sophie Prescott. Number 12, Grace Neville.
Well, there you have the substitution. Sophie Ingle makes way for Maria Ferrugia for Bristol City. And Jenna Deer comes off after assisting that goal in the first half, as does Sophie Prescott after such a fantastic shift that she's put in today. They are replaced by Grace Neville and Ruby Doe. But Bristol City still applying the pressure, just a couple of moments left until added time. Jones comes through, looks for some extra help on the wing, and the ball does just falter out of play. Ferrugia unable to get there and control it. That's a lovely bit of play. As Ruby Doe finds her way onto the ball, and the referee eventually blows her whistle. The offside flag is up. Well, Bristol City are unrelenting in the pressure that they're applying at the moment. Ipswich Town taking any opportunity they can to try and counter, but Bristol just perhaps with more stamina. Sliding challenge there leaves Kavanagh and Jones in a bit of a heap. 5 minutes added time though. 5 minutes for one of these teams to find a winning goal. Neville tries to clear the ball away. Kavanagh now with the advantage. Colette Kavanagh, the new signing for Ipswich Town, lays the ball off nicely to her teammate. It's a great shot on goal, but not enough to see Ipswich Town go ahead. Shauna Guyot knew that that could well have been the opportunity that would have seen them take home all 3 points. It's a great run from Guyot, it's a lovely layoff, just not quite the right shot to finish the job. You can see that fatigue really setting in now. The cramps are starting to come for these players, and perhaps a substitution being signalled for that. And what a treat for the Ipswich Town fans, because that is Lucy Ashworth-Clifford lining up to take the place of goal scorer from the first half, Natasha Thomas. Thomas looking in a bit of pain as she limps off, aided by the medics. Hopefully it's nothing more than just cramp and some fatigue, but making the sensible choice to retire from the match. And there's her goal from earlier on. Wasn't that fantastic? Huge cheers at the JobServe Community Stadium as Ipswich Town went ahead in the 14th minute. The new signing, Lucy Ashworth-Clifford, on the pitch now. 12 goals and 59 appearances for Celtic. The 26-year-old brings some impressive pace and strong attacking in those wide areas, so could be exactly what Ipswich need in these dying stages. As Ashworth-Clifford makes her debut for the club. Well, Neville coming in to try and intercept there, and Bristol City recover well. Perugia tries to send it in with a left-footed cross, and it's defended well by Ipswich Town. It's a good corner, well defended by Ipswich. Just over a minute left to be played of the added 5. Defoe sends it back in. Headed away by Neville. Sayers, and Negri comes out of her goal and picks it from the sky. So it is safely controlled in both hands. Well, Bennett restarts the Bristol attack. The last 10 minutes or so have been pretty relentless from Bristol City. Ipswich Town have done a brilliant job of holding firm with their back line and defending where possible. Well, Bristol keen to make the most of every second of what remains of this match. We have passed that 5-minute threshold, but of course there have been a couple of stoppages in that time. The referee within her right to add on a little bit more. Ipswich will now try and hold possession for the remaining few seconds. They've defended so well today. Ipswich Town coming out on the front foot earlier on. They were creative. They had a bit of spark in front of goal, and it paid off within 14 minutes. Bristol City responded well coming out of the second half. Their equaliser, of course, invaluable to them in the title race and the race for promotion. But they are now determined to squeeze every ounce of it out of this match that they possibly can. They'd have come here hoping for and almost expecting a win. And a good clearance there by Paige Peake. And there is the full-time whistle. Harley Bennett the goal scorer for Bristol City. Thanks to her, the Robins will leave with a point today. They sit third in WSL 2. Ipswich Town will be delighted with a point in the grand scheme of things, but they will be slightly disappointed to have conceded in that second half. They've defended so well today. When they got a sniff of 3 points, they really would have hoped to take all three home with them. But Ipswich Town 1, Bristol City 1. Well, there are your full-time match stats. 8 shots for Ipswich Town to Bristol City's 15, just the one on target. But the one is all that mattered. Bristol City had 5 and also just scored the one, of course. You can see there, 28 clearances, 6 blocks. Ipswich Town defending brilliantly. A fair few fouls for Bristol City. 4 yellow cards for the Robins today. And your results from elsewhere in the WSL 2 today. Crystal Palace beating Durham 4-0. Charlton Athletic conceding 1 goal after half-time, but remain 2-1 up, and that's the final score over there. Of course, Ipswich Town drew to Bristol City 1-1. Nottingham Forest won 1-0 to Sheffield United, and Sunderland managing to win 1-0 against Southampton. Well, it's a fantastic free kick in, and Ipswich Town are ahead. Natasha Thomas from close range. Now, not many would have expected that within 14 minutes, but the Blues lead the Robins 1-0. Lasada. It's a great long-range strike, but not enough to beat Negri on this occasion. That's a good cross in. Pescott lays it off, and it's over the bar. Ipswich Town still looking dangerous in front of goal. Pescott has been so good today. Really has posed danger. Bristol City have done well to deal with her as much as they have. And here's Lexi Lloyd-Smith laying it off for Lasada. Back to Lloyd-Smith. There's a cross in. And it's left, but Robinson isn't able to get enough power on it to trouble Negri. It's a beautiful bit of link-up play between Bristol City. Lloyd-Smith. Back into Syme. Finds the side netting. Emily Syme, one of the most creative players in the league. Unable to find the back of the net on this occasion, though. Bristol City launching yet another attack, and Ward. There's no one on the end of that cross, is there? It just rolls wide. Could have been lovely for Jessie Gale to just slot in, but you see her just not quite there. It's Harley Bennett free kick given. The yellow card shown, and Syme sends this one in. And it's a great header from Harley Bennett. Bristol City are level. Ipswich Town 1, Bristol City 1. The Robins will be much more satisfied with that. It will be a relief for them to be back on level terms. Well, thank you very much for joining us at the JobServe Community Stadium today for Ipswich Town versus Bristol City. It was a fantastic match with Ipswich Town going ahead in the 14th minute thanks to a wonderful free kick that was struck home by Natasha Thomas. And it wasn't until the second half that we saw Harley Bennett head home, also from a set piece, that Bristol City were back on level terms. But the final score, Ipswich Town 1, Bristol City 1.